My name is Eileen and welcome to another episode of App Masters. Today's episode pays homage to one of our favorite pastimes, online shopping. So joining us today is the marketing head for ShopBack.
Sure, got it. Thanks for the intro, Eileen. So I'm Raenald. You can just call me Ray. Head marketing for ShopBack here in the Philippines. So head of marketing for startup would usually mean both brand, so that's such as awareness, overall downloads, and actually growth metrics such as conversion. So it's really end to end. For me, I just joined in 2022, so it's almost 2 years from the start of the rise of lifting of restrictions to now that everything is just in a post-pandemic world. So I've been doing startup marketing for quite a while now. I started with agency work back in 2011 before moving to startup marketing starting in 2015 with the likes of Grab and Red Doors. And then right before ShopBack, I was actually with Huawei App Gallery. So yeah, a lot of years, a lot of things that have changed and a lot of things that are the same. But yeah, happy to share my experiences today.
The festive season in the Philippines especially is already upcoming. So what is your outlook for this? Not only in the Philippine perspective, because ShopBack is a regional brand. Any insights that you could share on what's gonna happen for within your niche for the upcoming season?
Sure. So maybe just a little bit of a local context. I think while other countries might be a little bit advanced already in terms of the e-commerce space, I think what's great about the PH e-commerce scene is that from an overall perspective, we're actually still in growth. And the past few years really drove digital adoption, and we're still reaping the benefits of that. So it actually starts with 99 for us. So I know we say festive season, but for us, we actually call it Shop Fest. And it actually covers 9/9, 10/10, 11/11, 12/12 plus Black Friday, Cyber Monday as well. So I think right now, speaking to you guys at September 28th means that 99 has done. So based on how 99 perform, I think it will continue to be just really exciting. There's still a lot of growth that remains to be seen. From our end, we actually still see growth across metrics, but there's interesting category-specific trends. So categories like mom and baby and fashion continue to perform well, while travel actually still continues to be quite interesting. Still a success story. Even if you think revenge travel is almost done, it's actually still not quite. We're still not seeing it plateauing. I think something that we just see this year, 2023, is that we anticipate that the growth will be more paced, meaning for example, before your 99 will contribute to maybe 15% or 20% of your overall September. Now it's going to be a bit more paced, where your September 9 might be 8%, but then your September 10, 11, and 12 will also perform well. So it's getting a little bit more pace, and things are averaging out a bit more. So I think something that to notice that reliance on just one day is starting to change from a festive season perspective.
Is happening is that really the mix of online and offline. So from a marketing perspective, has your KPIs changed, especially this festive season, that if you're talking like a couple of years ago when there's pandemics, definitely it's going to be an online thing, but right now other shopping establishments are also making their initiatives on that part. How does that, from your perspective, your KPIs?
Got it. I think our overall KPIs on overall revenue, top funnel metrics are going to be the same. I think we look at overall GMV as well, number of customers, and something to evaluate is actually also number of redirects. So if you use ShopBack, then you can see that there are different brands there, for example, Shopee, Lazada, etc., and then you get redirected to our partner merchants, so that counts as traffic for them. I think even with offline, right? I think what we will notice is that shopping online will stay the same, but there will be categories that might change in terms of their shopping behavior. So they might shop essentials online, but they might still shop, for example, like fashion on another channel. So I think people are actually still spending more and really still just diversifying the way they purchase. So given this, right, we're actually looking at increasingly looking at metrics that give us a little bit more of a long-term value. So that means quality versus quantity. And the evolution is that maybe in the past, right, it's really about, oh, more orders, more customers, but we are looking at things that like average order value, repeat behavior, overall retention. So those things are becoming more important. And this is also important for partner brands because this is really where we play a role in terms of being a conversion platform. At the end of the day, we're an affiliate. So that means that we need to be able to drive conversion, but at the same time, overall, drive quality conversion. So I think that's something that is from a like maybe usual e-commerce um, KPIs, but we have to make keep things interesting at ShopBack. So something that launched actually in the past year is live stream. So we are also looking at adoption of our key features as a KPI. So of course, you guys will be familiar with live stream, but given that ShopBack is a high conversion platform, we're seeing that when we do live streams, it's not just about viewers, but also conversion as well. So people can immediately see the deal and then they proceed to check out. So that keeps things interesting in terms of like um, making the online shopping still quite attractive for our users.
So anyway, so shifting back to what you said, so definitely like first purchase has always been like one of the things that a lot of digital marketers within e-commerce space is like really targeting, right? Because it pretty much gives you the lay of how that acquisition then becomes more lucrative for the brand. So um you've mentioned that currently Philippines is quite young comparative to other markets, but in a sense we're shifting into that growth space where people are more digital marketers, marketers particularly are more looking at down the funnel metrics. So given that Shopback has like a sort of unique combination of different offerings, apart from first purchase, what are the other metrics that you are tracking? Because you work across different industries. It's not like just a marketplace where okay, first purchase, AOV, and all of that. But
Correct.
yeah, what would be that for you?
Sure. I think, well, on my end, I really work with all the metrics, right? So it's really from looking at the full funnel and actually seeing conversion metrics at every step of the journey. So I'll answer it from a user perspective first. So if you're a user, you install, you sign up, you make a purchase. And then after that, the questions are, do they repeat? Do they retain? For how long? Do they look at other categories? So I think something unique to ShopBack is that there's a little bit more of cross-category behavior. Like if I purchase maybe on marketplace first, will I purchase on food next? And then, so given just those all these metrics, right? We really look at purchase behavior in terms of the lower funnel metrics. And I think something that we do have as a feature for ShopBack is actually our challenges feature. So basically, the challenges are like I guess promos or promo codes for others where these challenges give you extra cash back when you opt into them after you complete certain actions. So, for example, make your first purchase and get an extra 99. Or for us, for example, you are a user that is just doing travel purchases, but we know that travel purchases has a bit of a correlation with the fashion category. So we can expose a challenge to you that it's about making a purchase in fashion category win up to 1,000, right? So those are some of the levers that we work with. There's really a lot of cross-category behavior that we want to influence. And yeah, these challenges, we see them help overall conversion metrics and also really further influence actions that we want them to drive, right? So whether that's we want them to spend more or we want them to shop on more categories or we want them to transact more. So we look at actually all these conversion metrics.
Okay, yeah, thanks for sharing that. So you've mentioned, Kanina, that when it comes to marketing, it's really more of a whole thing for you. Like it's
Correct.
you're wearing multiple hats when it comes to marketing. Branding, I see what you have been doing within Philippines, and it's like surprising that you're able to juggle a lot of 101 things when it comes to marketing. So I've seen that you do a lot of branding as well, and obviously performance marketing will always be there for apps, right? So
Correct.
how do you split? What is your priority in terms of budget and also in terms of your own efforts and initiatives? How do you split this performance marketing and branding altogether?
Sure. I think it will really depend on seasonality. So, given that we're an e-commerce player, right? I think there will always be your BAU days, like your normal days. So, your
Mhm.
September 14th, September 13th, and then your D days, September 9th, October 10th, November 11th. And that kind of like influences your overall marketing activities and overall marketing budgets and channels. So, I would say that everything nets out to 50-50. after
Okay.
after you average the month. But what we usually do is that we do launch more branding and activities right before D-Days. So during those days, there might be a bit more branding versus performance. And then we studied that when performance should kick in. So basically, your aim is that for the first few days of your campaign, which are right before D-Day. So for example, for September, we started scaling up in terms of branding and overall awareness as early as September 1. So that means a little bit more KOLs, PR, articles. So the goal is to make sure that they have downloaded your app, and it's on their phone right before the key date. And then this is when performance comes in. So they do have to work together. So we also have to boost our performance marketing spend along with the branding activities so that we capture it and convert it as much as possible. So I think what will happen usually is that, and we saw this actually in September, is that we actually get a lot of signups and installs, but they will wait for the key day. But at least they're already there, so that when you get to the D-Day itself, then you have this pool of users that are just waiting to be converted.
Anyway, so economy is just like different now,
Mm,
and we're not only talking about the Philippine
correct.
scenario but globally as well. Has this shifted your outlook and how you approach performance marketing altogether?
Mm,
Like, are there has there any shift, even pre-pandemic,
right.
during pandemic now? um how does that affect you as a performance marketer?
Sure. I think there's just a lot more prudence and really looking at long term value, right? I think um, just something that from an economic outlook, right, is that I think what's good is that people are still shopping online. So that's great. We and we do, but we do recognize that offline shopping is playing a bigger role. But I think from an overall spending perspective, I think we're still a net positive, right? So I think, but given that there are metrics already, so actually not just the economic, so the what happens is that if there's a shift in economic outlook, then actually shifts some company metrics as well. So you have the likes of maybe your e-commerce players doing more retention initiatives, doing more, maybe less free shipping but more spend this and get that. So that influences then our way that we do performance marketing. So that means that there's a lot more um, focus on really looking at our cost per acquisition. So actually, for us, we really our cost is really based on cost per NC or new customer. So that's our core metric. So looking at this more closely and then evaluating the long term value, right? So a customer might transition to essentials and then become travel. And that means that they will become a higher value customer. So that means testing different channels that will influence this behavior. So, for example, is it when you target this ad to a specific set of users, does that give you this behavior that you want? So, I think a lot more prudence, a lot more looking at CAC, a lot more really testing different channels that might give you more long term value. And really, that boils down to I need to look at cohort retention, utilizing features, the challenges, etc., to make them cross sell. So I think economic outlook will influence overall company's outlook and then overall performance marketing outlook.
My favorite question, actually, the one that I'm looking forward to know, what is what magical superpower that you wish that you had as a performance marketer? Yeah,
Oh
only
man.
one,
Now, I
just
mean,
one.
actually, I had this is the most difficult question that I found, to be honest. And my first answer was going to maybe have unlimited marketing cash, right, as a superpower. So that was my first answer. But I think it really is about, um, I think when as a marketer, and not just a performance marketer, and you actually have to juggle a lot of things. So I have to shift from a brand metric to a performance metric. So I think maybe hyper intelligence, something aligned to like that Bradley Cooper movie about limits, and then hyper intelligence and
Oh,
hyper multitasking, so that basically we can achieve more at a shorter amount of time. So that will be the superpower that I would like.
I'd put that in my one of my short list as well. Yeah. So yeah, thank you so much, Ray. I mean, this session has been short but definitely sweet. We learned a lot from you, and hopefully,
Sure.
the upcoming double digit sale and the upcoming sales will be a huge success for you as always. So
Thank you.
thank